our CoVideo chat. Thank you. We only have a few more people to be allowed in, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you for joining us on today for our CoVideo chat for We've Got Jobs. We have a few speakers lined up for today, reps from places with which you can get information to become employed. I do ask that you mute your computers, and I do ask that if you have questions that you either place them in the chat or hold them until after the presentation. And we have a lineup of StaffWorks, and we have representation from StaffWorks, our first speakers, Cheryl Humble and Karen Walzer, and let's welcome them. Karen, please take it away.
You know why you're so big and everyone wants to speak? Because there's so many jobs. So thank you for welcoming StaffWorks to be here today. And my name is Karen Walzer. Good afternoon, everybody. And we are so excited to be here and share with you. We have over 500 open positions right now and today. And by the way, my staff is in Syracuse at 2112 Erie Boulevard waiting for your phone calls. So as a staffing agency, we have about 70 to 80 different customers that are actively looking for us to place their positions and fill their jobs. Anything from temporary, temp to hire, direct hire, all different levels of positions as far as entry level, forklift, assembler. We have a little bit of everything. But what we wanted to highlight really quickly is one of our big customers that works on State Fair Boulevard. They're a manufacturer. He sat with us and said, we have 138 open positions. Do you think we could attract some of the people that have children going to school that perhaps have to get their kids on the bus and get their kids off the bus? So starting immediately, we have 25 open positions that are from 9 o'clock in the morning till 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And that starts at $15 an hour. So, or excuse me, $16 an hour. And we're offering that because we really want to offer that flexibility to working, families, moms and dads that have to, or family members that need to get their children on the bus. So that's something immediately we have, but we also want to highlight that we've got jobs anywhere from $14 to $18 and $21 an hour. And all you have to do is pick up the phone and talk to my staff and talk about your availability, what you're looking for as far as do you need transport, and anything that you want to talk to our team about so we can effectively place you in the very best job possible. And I know I've got my coworker there, Cheryl, in my Syracuse office. Say hi, Cheryl.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Cheryl. What do you want to say about what we've got available right now? I know we've got hundreds of open.
What don't we have available? If you need something, we're going to find something for you. Be open to what we're telling you about. We'll listen to you and see what your needs are. And, we were talking about, Karen was talking about the need for parents. They want to get back to work. They want to work, but they're also working with the time constraints of their children coming and going from school. So that 92 is open, but you know what? If you need to work a little, you can work a little bit longer, come in a little bit earlier. This particular company is totally open to that. We're also looking for a more skilled level people as well. So call us. We'll be more than glad to talk to you. And, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, and just call us. We're at 315-455-9675 on Erie Boulevard.
So ladies, just quickly, we have a question in the chat that you can probably answer. It says, I submitted an application on 9/16. When should they hear from someone?
If they give us a call, now we'll be more than glad to help.
We didn't hear any of that. Your phone is.
Because we'll need to look them up in our system by name. It didn't want to put that out for name. Can you hear me?
No, it's breaking up. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So the answer to that is call the office. As soon as you get off this call the office and someone will ask for Cheryl. 455-9675. Call the office. Typically, when you apply, we should be getting back to you within that day. That's how excited we are for candidates and how much we are looking forward to getting applicants in. So I'm not sure what happened. I do apologize if there was a delay, but please call us right away.
Yeah, our turnaround time is very quick.
Right now, I'm putting the information, I sent it to someone as a direct message, so I apologize. I'm putting you their information in the chat so that you can call and contact them if you have any more questions, or if you have questions now, we can ask them. The question is what position is from 9 to 2?
Yeah. Cheryl, want to take that one?
Yeah, it's a position doing picking and packing of auto parts. Real simple, very entry level. They'll teach you how to do the job. They'll train you through the job, and it can be temp or temp to hire.
Okay, if there aren't any questions, we want to say thank you. We did put your information in the chat. So again, this is Cheryl Humble and Karen Walser from StaffWorks. The phone number is 315-455-9675. We appreciate them, and we're going to move on because we have a few other speakers. So thank you all.
Thanks so much for having us.
All right, our next speakers are coming from Syracuse City School District Human Resources, and we have Dan and Trayan, and we have the Director of Food Services here as well. So Dan, if you want to take it away. And if our other co-hosts, if you all can just mute your phones, mute your computers.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dana Trahan. I am a recruiter, aka a personnel analyst here at the Syracuse City School District. We facilitate the hiring of multiple positions in our district. Normally we do a lot of teachers, but we also do custodial staff. We do, can you guys see this? I should do this. So I have just a small presentation. There we go, slideshow. Okay. So as most of you may know already, we are hiring. We are hiring for sub-TAs, teaching assistants, sub-food service, sub-clerical, bus attendants, school health aides, nurses. We're always looking for math teachers. Anybody here good at math? Okay, let's see. So most of you know that we service 22 to 23,000 students. So we have a high number of vacancies, or we have a high number of employees that work for us. The impact that you'll have with our district and with our students is a global impact. We have between 74 and 84 languages spoken in our schools. So you can make a difference globally just by working with our students. There are career ladder opportunities in some of these units. So some of the jobs do come with 12 credit hours per year for college. We are looking for people who are passionate about urban education. We're looking for, diverse staff that can meet the needs of all of our students. And, we'd like to see more city residents apply for our positions. So if anyone has any questions, you can contact Human Resources at SCSD. We have our job recruitment is on HR, Human Resources at SC. If you go to the Syracuse City School District website and you go to Human Resources, you'll find our job postings. We have about 185 postings right now. Some of those are civil service. So just because, you don't think maybe you have the qualifications for some of these positions, a lot of our positions are entry level. Our sub-clerical, if you have a high school diploma, you can start with sub-TA, TA, or sub-clerical. A lot of our substitute positions are entry level. If you have a bachelor's and you want to look to substitute, we are also accepting substitute teachers. And again, here's just some of our positions that we're recruiting for: school sentries. Hopefully I didn't leave anything out, but I mean, we have so many positions available. And also we are looking for coaches. So if you are interested in working with us, the link is below. Maybe I can copy and paste it into the chat. That way, if you want to go straight to it, you can. I'll post it after our discussion. Okay. Does anybody have any questions? Okay.
So I don't see any questions in the chat, Dan. And so if you could actually put that information in the chat, people can contact you directly or go about figuring out how to apply for the positions.
Excuse me, Shalonda, we have Catherine with her hand raised for a question, I think.
Oh, thank you. I didn't see it. Can I choose a school where I want to work? That's a question.
Okay, so we want to answer these now. Okay, so some positions are specific to schools. Those would be listed on the job description itself. For sub TAs and substitute teachers, you know, those are, you pick those jobs up as you like. So you choose the location. So if there is a location closest to your home and you only want to work there, we can enter it into our system that you only want to pick up jobs there. There we do have like a part-time typist at Clary, and we have a part-time information aide at Lincoln. So those would be specific to those locations. So some are and some aren't. Like if you apply to the custodial worker, you'll interview, they're going to probably put you at the location with the vacancy. So depending on which position, that will be where you're going to be placed.
Okay, Catherine has a question.
Hello, good morning. Good to see you, Shalonda. We miss you, Ed Smith. I have 3 questions. One is, when we go on the website, is the pay for, like, the range of pay listed on the website?
For some positions, it is. For substitute teacher, the rate of pay is $130 to $150 a day, depending on location. I believe for sub TA, those are also, again, there's 180 positions right now. I think the biggest concern would be that when you're building your application, at the bottom of the general information page, it will ask for an applicant type. And this is pretty much, this is the one sticking point that's we spend a lot of time guiding our people through. If you're interested in a substitute position, you'll have to go as the substitute applicant type. If you're looking for a TA position or teaching position, if I have a math teacher on here, science teacher, Spanish teacher, you would want to add the certified applicant type to your application in order to see those jobs. If for some reason you can't see them, please go down to the bottom of the first page of your application under general information, under account information. We have 5 types. We have the uncertified, that would be for groundskeeper or any jobs that don't require certification. We have certified, those are our TAs and teachers. We have substitutes for subclerical, sub food service, sub TA and sub teacher. I'm probably missing a few of the subs. And then we have administrative. So if we have someone here who is looking for a VP position, we are actively recruiting for vice principals. And if you are looking for a coaching position, maybe you're already working in the district and you want to do a little bit more in sports, you can't find those jobs, go down to that applicant type and add the substitute applicant type to your application. Thank you.
Wonderful. And my next question is for TA and for being a substitute TA and substitute teacher. I know in the past when people have done it, sound like you're referring to it before. It used to be that someone would call you, and I think it's probably electronic now, and there'd be the listing in the morning and you could choose which you were interested in. And also vis-a-vis flexibility, for example, if I were willing to substitute teach or substitute TA in my school, then that would make it easier. I could just take my kids in with me early. But again, as a parent, how do you deal with the fact that you probably need to be in an earlier time and yet you have a couple kids that you need to get off to school? So is there some kind of like, can you, if you're being a substitute teacher or TA, do they have flexibility in terms of what time you get there because you're trying to get your own kids to school.
I think this would be a great opportunity to explore some after-school programs because I believe there's a before-school component to that. I mean, we'd like to say that all of our buildings will have that flexibility, but to be honest with you, if there's a classroom of students waiting for you or a one-on-one student waiting for you, I mean, it's really just hard to accommodate. You know, we do need a lot of people, but, you know, to have the student waiting 30 minutes with no coverage might be complicated. So it depends. It depends.
Okay, Brenda has a question. I'm gonna unmute her.
Hi, Dan, and how are you?
Hi, Brenda. I'm
Hi.
well. How about yourself?
Good. I have a question about the substitute teacher position. So do you need additional, to a bachelor's, do you need additional certification, or is it a specific bachelor's or?
No.
Okay.
You know, we hope that we will, a bachelor's degree in anything is the minimum qualification to be a substitute teacher. If you have a master's in education or a bachelor's in education and you're looking to pursue a master's in education, or you're looking, or you have some experience that's content specific, please, you know, bring that to my attention either before or after our meeting here. Like I said, we have a lot of openings right now. I'm specifically looking for science, math, Spanish, I mean, everything except for maybe social studies and English, special education. So we have a high need for substitutes. Oftentimes our substitutes will pick up long terms. And if they do pick up long-term assignments, like from now to the end of the year, they would qualify for all of the Unit 1 benefits for that position, and also including the full salary of $50,000.
Okay, there's a question in the chat. I filled out an application. Is there someone I should contact to follow up with? And that's Lynn. And I'm not sure who that question is directed towards.
I know we get a lot of phone calls daily about the status of applications. I got to be quite honest right now. We are still staffing and sending out a lot of offer letters. My team consists of about 4 of us. You know, we try to check people's application, get back to them. But honestly, we have 6,800 applicants in our system right now. So sometimes it's a little unrealistic for us to reach out. So, you know, you're welcome to give us a call. What's really great about our applicant tracking system is that you'll get 2 emails when you apply for a position. You'll get one email that says you have successfully applied to for this position. So look for that email. That will help you determine whether or not you've successfully applied. And also you will get an email that says your application is incomplete if you're missing references, address, phone number. So unfortunately, if you apply to a position and your application is incomplete, you will still get that your application has been successfully submitted, even if it's incomplete. So go back to our Power School website. I did attach our web address in the chat here. If you go to my application, which is listed at the top left of your profile, and you look for the little circle with the check mark, if you have anything missing, it will list it in that right there. Okay.
Monique Bradley has her hand raised with a question.
Okay.
Yes, hi, good morning. I'm on here because I have filled out an application for food service. So I just wanted to know what's the qualification, because I filled out the application online and it said that I had completed it, and I'm just waiting for an email.
Okay, Rachel, do you want to talk about how or who reviews the food service?
Yeah, thank you so much. It was great. I'm sorry I don't have a beautiful PowerPoint like Diana does, but I'll just go ahead and start off with saying we are so eager and excited to hire on folks to come work in the meal service. In the Syracuse City School District, we have free breakfast and lunch for all of the students. And in some buildings, we even offer snack and supper, or the fresh fruit and vegetable program, which is another nice program. I like to joke around and say that, you know, there's no better job to get you, because you get free breakfast and lunch when you come and do service with us and who doesn't like free breakfast and lunch, but really it's a great opportunity to get out of the house when the children are also out of the house. We have a lot of parents in the district who come in 4 hours in a day, and they will go ahead and go into a school setting, be out before their kids get out. They'll come in before their kids or after the kids are off to the school. We really have a great opportunity here this year, especially to have a lot of subs. So even if you're not sure about commitment in getting into a specific school and locking in and doing a 4-hour day every day, you're kind of like, I want something, but maybe not every day because I have littles and they might need to be home. I might need to be home with them. Maybe they're going to be sick here and there. This is a great way to get into the district and work in a very fast-paced environment where you're seeing children, and there are children, they really enjoy lunch. Lunch is at one time a day. They get to decompress, they get to kind of have a sense of community and come together as a whole school building, and you serve them their meal. So we offer training, on-the-job training. We use the same platform as Human Resources. It's not a special application for just our district or just our department. You would still follow the regular link that was put up earlier for Human Resources, Syracuse City School District. And then we'll reach out and do a very, very basic interview. There is not a lot required besides a few key things, fingerprint screening. That's one that does happen for all employees that come into the district. And there's no holidays, no weekends. You're off on school breaks. Even my parents, I got my parents, they're both not in Syracuse School District, because that might be a little bit of a conflict of interest, because technically I guess I'd be their boss, but I will say they do I've kind of chatted with them, and they work in another district and they do this very thing and enjoy it very much. It's a really nice way to get out. It's flexible. You have very, very basic tasks. So preparing sandwiches, salads, putting up the pots and pans, cleaning tables, cashiering, and seeing the kids and interacting with the kids. So it's a really nice way to get into the community and get busy and get paid during the school day.
Yay.
Okay, so, excuse me, there was another question. Karima, do you have college level careers? And I can unmute her because she has,
Hi, so specifically like non-clerical or like administrative assistant stuff, like things like that.
Yeah, we actually have quite a few different positions that are outside of the teaching realm. Some of those are civil service positions, so make sure I know I breezed through the slide, but if you guys need more information, ongov.net has a civil service, through their employee, it says employment or something, and then you can look at what's offered. A lot of our positions are civil service, so you should go on and check our postings. Again, like I said, we have about 180 in total, and it will tell you whether or not those postings require civil service or that require you to be on a civil service list. But we do have a lot of different positions, so you would just need to check and see which ones. I'm not exactly sure what positions you are most interested in, Ms. Karima?
Oh, I'm just looking to branch out. I was doing administrative assistant at the university, and now is the time. I'm gonna go get my master's next semester, so I want to branch out and do something, at a higher level.
Like in human resources or budgeting or something like that?
Yeah, just anything new where I can get experience and things like that.
The position that I hold right now is also civil service. So I can't say enough about civil service opportunities. So make sure that you are checking out, what positions or what tests are coming out for civil service.
And how would I prepare for those tests? Is there any things to study for, or because I really don't like tests?
It can be a little intimidating, but the civil service on gov.net or Onondaga County does have some administrative testing or typist, a clerical. So you would have to do some of that research with ongov.net. You know, we do work a little bit with civil service, but they kind of do their own thing. So if you were to get, let's say, an occupational therapist position, right, you would have to also complete, or let's say program aid, you would also have to complete an application for civil service, and you would be expected to take the test when it comes up, or you would be hired provisionally. You would either take the test and be hired probationary, or you would get hired before the test was offered, and then you would be expected to take the test when it's offered, and you would have to score like in the top 3. There's a lot involved in civil service. I'm sorry, I'm trying to give you like a cliff notes, and I feel like I'm babbling. I apologize.
No, thank you. Very helpful.
Thanks. I just want to ask, I think I see you, Dan, and you answered a couple of the questions specifically that were in a chat, but this just came in, are the testing sites in schools? And I think you put that in there as well.
Yeah, we do have some locations. I'm not exactly sure where all of those locations are. There's a handful of locations, so I'm not exactly sure. I didn't bring the list with me, so I don't know them offhand, but if you were working with us and they may or may not have one at that specific site. You know, there's not one at central office, so you know, we have to go elsewhere to get them if we're not unvaccinated at central office. I'm not exactly sure where they all are, though.
We have a hand raised.
There's one question in the chat. I don't know which program it was directed to, but it said, when do the benefits start after hire?
Yes.
Yeah, so human resources is pretty compartmentalized. I believe they start the first month after, but I would hate to, don't quote me on that. If you were hired into our system, they would give you more specific information about benefits, but I believe it's the month following your hire date.
Yes, I can attest to that. Yes.
Okay, thanks.
But we have a whole benefits department that will be able to answer that when you're onboarded. But we have another question. A hand is raised. Monica, am I saying it right? Monique, can you unmute? Can you unmute? There you go.
All right. So even though I have filled out the application for our food service, right? How long does it take for them to get back to you? Because the lady was saying that they got tons of applications. So we will have to like wait till they email us back to let us know to move, to moving forward with the job.
Well, so it depends on where the vacancies are. Rachel, I'm not really sure. Can you answer this one?
No. Absolutely. We basically go ahead and look at them on the daily. So I'm going to go ahead, take your name down and look to see if there was something maybe that was missing on it, and we just haven't gotten around to informing you that we might need some sort of referral not in there, or it might even be a resume wasn't uploaded. I don't know. We've also had this come up a few times where folks might have gotten our response, but it went directly to spam, because email has been very effective for us lately with COVID, in the nature of people not having access to phones during the day with maybe other jobs and things that they're doing. So I'll go ahead and I will take your name down and we will reach out to you. I appreciate it, but don't ever hesitate. We have our food nutrition service phone number, 435-4207. You can always call, reach out, find out the status, and we will identify what's going on exactly in your situation when you have an application pending with us.
So there's a question, Danon, I just want to be clear. Do you prefer that we, sorry, it keeps jumping. Do you prefer that we attempt to contact you to help our application stand out, but rather just make sure our application is thoroughly completed and wait?
So the instruction that I gave about the circle with the check mark, that's basically to help you identify before you call whether or not you have any outstanding items. We have quite a few departments, facilities, they kind of do their own, they will follow up with their own applicants on their postings. Food service will follow up with their applicants on their postings, and student support services. So a lot of our departments kind of follow up on their own postings. So when our applicants call us to ask about the status of their application, we basically tell them information that they already have. And that would be that email saying that it's been received, or that they have no missing items. As far as knowing when they'll interview for those positions or reach out, most of the time we don't really have that data. I think, we have quite a few departments, like I said, and they kind of do their own thing. So we don't really speak to them daily as far as, who they interview when they need someone. So we don't always have that information. So I just hate to have people call and get frustrated when we say, yeah, we've got your application. So I think the best way to make it most effective would be just to make sure that you have everything included in your application, and that it's up to date, that your phone number is up to date, that your phone, that your voicemail is not full, and that you're checking emails, because most of the times we will contact you through email.
Thank you. I see that we have more questions, but I want to give sufficient time for our last speaker as well, and then we can come back to questions. If you can just hold off, I just want to make sure that we get all of our speakers in and give them sufficient time to be able to speak. We do see your questions in the chat. If you think you might forget it, go ahead and put it in there, and then we'll go right through them all to make sure we can ask them, okay? I want to introduce you to Stacy Varr from Krause. Stacy, go ahead.
Hello, everybody. So I'm going to screen share our website and kind of walk you through how to find positions. I'm sure most of you are familiar with Krause, but we are the only community-based standalone hospital left in the Syracuse area. So we have our own board, and we have our own senior leadership team. So we are not controlled by a larger entity from the state, from federal, or from a large healthcare system. So we are truly a community-based hospital here in Syracuse for the Syracuse community, and many of our programs support surrounding communities as well. So healthcare, certainly has become a very busy time of year for us, but healthcare has really been extremely busy throughout this pandemic. Can you see my screen right now with the website?
No, it just says you started sharing your screen.
Your screen share is paused. Zoom share. What about now?
Same message.
Let's move it over to my other monitor. Maybe you'll see it that way.
Okay, there you go. Got it.
Sorry, 2 monitor problem. So we, currently have a lot of open positions. Healthcare, there's a large need from the pandemic and everything going on with this pandemic. So certainly I'll walk you through how to find our positions. We do have a wide variety of things open right now. Some jobs do allow for remote work, some do not. Some jobs are part-time, full-time, or what we call per diem. Per diem allows you that flexibility. If you have children, or maybe you can't accommodate full-time or part-time work, it allows you that flexibility to pick up hours as it works for you and your needs and your schedule. The only thing with per diems is that they're not offered time off, and they're not offered like medical, dental, and vision benefit. Part-time, full-time, they're offered all of our benefits as well, and including the time off. So you will see on our site here, I saw some questions pop up in chat before about COVID vaccine. We are a healthcare facility. Anyone to work here at Krause has to have their first shot in their arm by 9/27. So that's this next Monday. Otherwise, currently we're taking medical and religious exemption forms. So certainly that is something that we are working on right now. And currently today we have a 91% vaccination rate here at the hospital. We are offering a sign-on bonus for many current open positions. Registered nurses, for example, an experienced nurse can get $15,000 sign-on bonus. And if you know anyone that works here and refers you, they're also going to get an applicant referral bonus. Any folks interested in environmental services, those are folks that are doing our cleaning, nutritional services in the kitchen area. Patient access is that registration process, working with insurance verification. They're the first eyes that people see when they arrive to tell us why they're here today to be treated. Patient transport, those areas are currently getting a $500 sign-on bonus as well. So that is something that is being offered. And we also have sign-on for case management, respiratory therapy, and some other areas as well. So lots of great things. Pretty much find any of our jobs on kraus.org/careers. So that's where you would find any of our jobs, including you'll see a lot of events that are occurring for us. So what you would want to look at is you can either look at all positions, you can search nursing positions, and then we also have a section to our diversity and inclusion area. We have a very large committee and we've won some awards through our diversity and inclusion initiative. And I think that that's something, another great piece to check out, which just makes us a really exceptional employer in Syracuse. So I'll just click on search all positions. So that's kind of where you're going to be able to filter down what you're looking for. It's also going to show you a little bit more about our jobs. So our jobs, you would want to hit advanced search, and then you can search by a category. So if you're a clinical person, you can search clinical. Non-clinical would be like admin jobs, environmental services, nutritional services, those types of things. You can select a job status in terms of how many hours a week you're looking to work. You don't have to select something to search for jobs. And you can also search by a certain department. So we'll just click that we're looking for non-clinical jobs and hit search. And you'll see that this pops up that there's 28 current open positions within those areas. So for environmental services, you will see on each job posting, it also kind of outlines what the hours would be that you would be working. This is evenings 3 to 11:30 with rotating weekends and holidays. This one's day shift. So you would want to make sure you're applying to something that you're available to work. Again, the per diems generally list all shifts, but it provides you with flexibility. That's why it lists all shifts. So certainly all you'd have to do is click on a position and it tells you what are the job requirements. Any job here at Kraus has an absolute minimum of a high school diploma or a GED. There are certain positions that do require things like typing tests, medical terminology tests, patient access has a competency test, those types of things. Other jobs don't require anything. And then there are some higher level jobs that do require degrees, of course. And so what you would find is the job descriptions in through here, along with job requirements that you would need to be able to do in order to be able to qualify for the position. You just hit apply and it's a very easy process. And once your application is complete, it automatically routes over to us. So our HR department consists of 3 recruiters, myself and 2 others. We do recruitment and retention. So we're currently serving over 3,000 employees across Kraus Health. And we're broken down by department and service line. So there are specific recruiters for each area. So once you apply, it goes directly to that recruiter's dashboard. We review the applications, we send them over to the hiring manager, and then they indicate who they're interested in scheduling for an interview. All conversations in terms of interview scheduling and those types of things are done through human resources. So myself or one of the other 2 recruiters. And basically currently today we're offering options for interviews via Zoom or in person, just based on comfort level. So that's kind of a little bit about how to find our jobs. And it gives you the opportunity to see the various types of jobs that we have here as well. Certainly we have a lot more than just doctors and nurses that we have a need for. We provide you with a lot of information when you come here for an interview. So one thing too is that when you apply, you create a username and password. So a lot of people have been asking questions about how do I check the status of my application? You would actually, with our system, just log right back in with your username and password, and you'd be able to check the status of your application. You would know if it was sent over for review to a hiring manager. You would know if your application wasn't accepted for that job, or if the job is filled or anything like that. You would be able to see that by logging in. Other people also call our main HR number sometimes. That is an option as well. And we have a main HR email address. That's usually the most convenient way to reach out, given that we have multiple recruiters working on positions.
Stacy, can you put that information in the chat as well?
I sure can.
Thank you.
So I will stop share. Certainly our website is very user friendly, and that's a great place to go to be able to be able to view everything. There's benefit information on that website as well. Something to keep in mind, many of our jobs are with our union here. We are with a healthcare union, SEIU 1199. So these positions would be, many of them are in the union as well. How we determine if a job is remote or not is based on if somebody could physically work that job remote. Because of COVID, we learned that jobs called room service call rep, those are people that are actually taking patients' orders when they're ready for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, for example, or maybe they want a snack. They're calling a phone line. They are reaching somebody to place their order. Those people are actually working from home, and those are part of our dietary area. I've heard people's kids and stuff like that. We totally get it. But that allows you the flexibility to be able to work from home. Many of our folks in our business office area, non-clinical area, certainly places like nutritional, environmental, clinical floors, we can't allow those people to work remote. It's just not efficient. So I'll type in our website here, and I'll type in our main HR information should anyone have any needs, and we'll go from there.
Thank you so much. So it looks like Stacy addressed some of the questions in here, but Karima, I wanted to ask you specifically, did you feel the question was answered, or did you have a second part to it?
So like for remote, do you have like for more like higher level? Like I heard you say business office, like what type of job should I be looking for online?
Mm-hmm. So currently today, like remote, there's like one's posted, it's the authorization and verification coordinator. That position is remote. Any jobs that's located within our business office, certainly we don't have a lot of those open right now, but all those people went remote. IT, pretty much the whole entire department is working remote from home. So we do have some open positions with them as well. Half of human resources is working from home. The recruitment team is working in the office. The benefits side is working from home. We also have health information management. Part of that team is working remote, and then the other half has to work here in the hospital. It's just driven off of what are the job duties and can someone realistically do their job from home.
Now, are these permanent remote positions or some are, some aren't?
Right now, that's not a guarantee. Right now they have been working remote because of COVID. There are certain areas like IT, many of them will continue working remote permanently. Other areas, it will be evaluated based on the productivity of the staff and ensure that we can still maintain productivity within those areas. Right now, to the unforeseeable future, they are a remote opportunity, some of them.
Is there any way that I can have your contact information so me and you can connect afterwards?
So I put in our information for our office right in through here. If there's a specific area of working that you're interested in, I'd recommend calling our main number just because I don't work on all of the positions in all of the areas. So it might be an area that one of my coworkers actually covers.
Okay, thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
So we had Candace who had a question earlier, and Ms. Softly. Can we go in that order if you still have questions? Candace, are you there?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So I asked about, on September 16th, I submitted 2 specific jobs and the application, and I kept getting directed to staff work. So I'm a little confused. I applied on the SCSD job site. I received the email that said, welcome to Syracuse City School District, and that I would hear from a representative after they reviewed, from the recruitment team, after they reviewed my resume. So I don't want to start making phone calls or sending emails. You said you guys were behind. So is it because my stuff doesn't mesh well with what you're looking for, or is it just I need to be more patient?
Well, the 16th, I mean, that was about a week ago, right? So thank you so much for applying for our positions. I appreciate it. We do need, so I didn't mean to, I didn't intend, or my intention wasn't to say, don't call us at all. I just meant to be patient with us. Just like Ms. Barr from Krause, there are just a handful of us who will review the applications. But, by all means, you're welcome to call and follow up, Ms. McCormick, right? Ms. McCormick? Candace, is that your last name, McCormick? Okay, because I can write your name down and check on your application, okay? If you can put your name in the chat, that'd be great. Also, I want to let you
Okay.
guys know that we do have a 6 o'clock also we're doing tonight. And because Kraus did so good at explaining the application, I will let my partner know that maybe she should bring up our application too to help guide you, because we do get a lot of candidates who are having trouble applying for the jobs, right? So thank you so much for providing that, Ms. Barr. I appreciate it. Teamwork is fine. Hopefully I answered your question, Candace.
Thank you. Ms. Softly?
Hello, just a brief query. Seems like you're experiencing a backlog because of course you are understaffed like everybody. And then presumably I presume there's a background check, because when you work with children, you always have to have a background check.
She did state that.
And I know if it's going to the sheriff's office usually, so a timeline. So if we're looking at, say, if we applied tomorrow to be a substitute, you're still looking at like probably several weeks before you can actually be on the list. Is that realistic, or do you think it will happen sooner than that?
For substitute teachers, we have a substitute clerical who's a sub administrator who's actually working in our sub postings. So she does check those daily, weekly, and she is on top of it. By the time we send your offer and you send it back, if you've ever been printed before, we ask that you wait till orientation. Once you get all of our paperwork, one of the documents in the paperwork is the OSPRA form. We'd like you to actually fill that out and send it first, just in case you have prints on file with the Department of Education, because it does cost $102 to get your prints done. So if you already have them on file, we don't want you to have to pay for them again. So it does take normally about a week or 2 to get someone fully processed, which is not optimal. So we do try to encourage people to send that OSPRA back as soon as they can, because honestly, the clearance is usually kind of what holds up our people from getting in buildings. But our principals, I'm just like Kraus, we do have recruiters who are specifically working with a subset, and my subset is all of the pre-K through 8s and middle schools. So we do have a lot of principals calling us to find out where people are in clearance status. And, it does take time to follow up with, for example, I have 32 people right now who are in clearance status. So it does take time to follow up with the principals for each school to let them know their people are coming. But we do need you. We do need everyone, all hands on deck, substitutes, full-time, and everything. We're just as hard pressed for help and talent like anyone else.
Thank you so much, Dana. Thank you to all of our presenters on today. I don't see any more questions in the chat. I did want to take this time to just say that we are coming back on at 6 p.m. So if you know someone and you thought this was very helpful, please have them register right away, because the registration for 6 o'clock will close at 4. And again, I appreciate all of you for joining us. If there are any questions, we did put numbers. We're going to leave the chat open for at least 2 minutes more, so that if you need to scroll through the chat to get phone numbers or names, that would be helpful right now. But thank you all. Bye.
Hello. Hi,
Yes.
what's your name? What's your name so I can write it down?
Mine?
Yes.
I'm Shalonda.
Did you send me the sorry, I just saw it on the thing. Did you send, who sent the Zoom out?
The Zoom?
Did you send
Oh,
it?
our admin person here. Did you need the link for 6 o'clock tonight?
No, I just wanted to maybe keep in contact with you. Do you work for the district or where do you work?
Yes, I didn't introduce myself. I'm Shalonda Graham. I'm a family engagement facilitator with the Office of Family Engagement. And I don't have anything to do with hiring, but I don't know how I could assist you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Nice work, you guys. I hope I represented you well. I hope I
You did an
represented.
awesome job, Janet.